Over the next 10 episodes, we're diving deep beneath the surface of David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me. This isn't just a story of grit and glory, it's a raw, twist-filled journey into pain, survival, and the uncomfortable truths that make us who we are. Get ready to see the legend like never before. Episode 1, The Legend We Bought. We all think we know David Goggins, the unstoppable Navy SEAL who ran ultramarathons with bloodied feet. The man who shattered every limit society tried to impose on him. The motivational beast who screams, "Get up and conquer," at millions of fans around the world. But what if that surface-level legend, the superhero facade, is just a mask? What if the story we've been sold isn't a triumphant success tale, but something far darker and more fragile? Because beneath the muscle, medals, and mantra, lies a man who didn't just succeed, he survived. Not through glory or ease, but through relentless pain and a crushing battle with his own inner demons. This episode pulls back the curtain on the Goggins myth to expose the raw truth. This isn't a story of effortless victory. It's a story of a broken boy who refused to be broken, a man who fought a war inside himself no one saw, and a legend forged in the fire of survival, not just success. Stay tuned, because the real journey starts where the legend ends. Episode 2, The Roach Motel Childhood. Picture a young David Goggins, no superhero yet, just a frightened boy trapped in a cramped, filthy motel room infested with roaches. The walls close in, the air thick with neglect. His father's fists are the only certainty, random, brutal, and terrifying. Each blow isn't just physical pain, it's a message carved deep into his soul: you are nothing. But it wasn't only the abuse. It was the loneliness, the way the world turned its back on him. At school, he was the outsider, the target of racial slurs, the kid everyone ignored or mocked. The terror wasn't just from his father's rage, but from the crushing weight of being utterly unseen, unheard, unwanted. This was the crucible where Goggins' so-called toughness was born, not from training or choice, but from sheer terror and survival instinct. It wasn't courage, it was necessity. Every day was a fight to keep breathing, to keep existing in a world that seemed determined to break him. And here's the twist: the boy who emerged wasn't just hardened. He was haunted. Every scar, every tremble in his hands, every sleepless night carried the echoes of that roach motel, that broken childhood. Because the hardest battles aren't fought on battlefields, they're fought in the silent prisons of the mind. Episode 3, The Mirror Never Lies. In a dimly lit room, surrounded by the silent judgment of peeling wallpaper, David Goggins faced something harsher than any drill instructor: himself. The accountability mirror wasn't just glass, it was a battlefield. Every morning, he plastered sticky notes all over it. Not reminders or pep talks. Brutal truths: you're overweight. You're weak. No excuses. You're scared of your own potential. This mirror didn't offer comfort. It shattered illusions. It forced him to confront the raw, unfiltered version of himself, the parts he wanted to hide, deny, or run from. But here's the twist: the mirror didn't save him. It destroyed the man he was and built someone new from the wreckage. Someone who no longer needed external approval, because he had become his own worst critic and toughest opponent. It wasn't discipline alone that drove him. It was a relentless confrontation with the man staring back at him, unforgiving, relentless, impossible to lie to. The mirror never lies. And neither did Goggins. Episode 4, The Failure Blueprint. David Goggins didn't arrive at greatness on a silver platter. He stumbled, crashed, and burned again and again. His failures weren't secret scars, they were the blueprint of his survival. From the first SFOB test he flunked to the grueling hell of Bud's training, every step was a battle with defeat. The pull-up bar became a symbol of his limitations, a cruel reminder of how far behind he was. While others seemed born for success, David was born to fail. But here's the twist: he didn't hide from his failures. He didn't mask them with excuses. He weaponized them. Each setback was fuel. Every no hardened his resolve. With every failure, he rewrote his story not as a victim, but as a warrior preparing for the war ahead. Failure wasn't the end. It was the forge. This episode peels back the myth of effortless grit to reveal the gritty, painful, relentless cycle of falling and rising, where losing became the secret weapon in his arsenal. Because for Goggins, failure wasn't a stop sign, it was a starting line. Episode 5, The Voice Inside Your Head. Everyone thinks the hardest battles are fought outside the body, in the mud, the pain, the exhaustion. But David Goggins knows the real war rages inside his mind. That voice, the one you hear when you're alone, when your body screams to stop, when the world fades away, is what he calls the real enemy. It's relentless, cruel, and cunning. It whispers, "You're not good enough." It screams, "Give up." It begs, "Why torture yourself?" But here's the twist: that voice isn't your enemy because it wants to destroy you. It's your mind's desperate attempt to protect you from pain, failure, and disappointment. It's survival instinct wrapped in doubt and fear. What sets Goggins apart is that he doesn't silence this voice with kindness or denial. He confronts it head on. He stares into its venomous eyes and dares it to do its worst. He challenges you, the viewer, to do the same. To stop running from your internal tormentor and instead wrestle it into submission. Because the moment you conquer the voice inside your head is the moment you realize, pain isn't the enemy. Fear isn't the enemy. The enemy is the surrender you whisper to yourself when no one is listening. Episode 6, Pain as Religion. For most people, pain is a warning, a signal to stop, to retreat, to protect themselves. But for David Goggins, pain became something else entirely, a religion. It was the only truth he could trust in a world full of lies. Running 100-mile races with shattered feet, doing push-ups with hands swollen and bruised beyond recognition, this wasn't masochism. It was devotion. A sacred ritual where every drop of blood, every scream of agony was an offering. Because in pain, Goggins found clarity. In suffering, he found life. The twist: he wasn't addicted to success or medals. He was addicted to the suffering itself, the raw, brutal proof that he was still alive, still fighting, still in control. Pain was his confession booth, his proving ground, his escape from the ghosts of his past. This episode drags you into the agonizing reality of that devotion where endurance becomes worship, and breaking your body is the only way to rebuild your soul. Episode 7, The Mask of Motivation. David Goggins walks the world like a warrior, unyielding, fierce, and unstoppable. His social media screams motivation. His speeches ignite fiery determination in millions. But behind the mask of motivation lies a haunting secret. Beneath the ironclad discipline and relentless hustle is a man terrified of one thing: softness. Not the softness of the body, but the softness of the soul. The truth is, motivation is his greatest lie, a shiny mask that hides something far more raw and fragile. It's not discipline alone that fuels him, it's a primal, gnawing fear. Fear that if he lets up, even for a moment, he'll slip back into the darkness he escaped. This fear is the engine driving his every grueling workout, every punishing mile. It's the reason he pushes beyond human limits, not to inspire others, but to outrun his own vulnerability. The twist: motivation is just the mask. Discipline isn't the cure. Fear is the secret fuel. And understanding this is the key to unlocking not just Goggins' story, but your own. Episode 8, The Cult of Goggins. David Goggins isn't just a man, he is a movement. A symbol. A brand. For millions, he is the living embodiment of grit, resilience, and relentless drive. But behind the roaring cheers and viral clips lies a troubling truth: the cult of Goggins isn't just about admiration. It's about a collective escape. Fans don't just idolize his pain, they romanticize it. They turn trauma into a product, suffering into a spectacle, and pain into a badge of honor. What if the people who worship Goggins aren't really facing their own struggles? What if they're running from their pain, hiding behind the myth of toughness while avoiding the messy, uncomfortable work of healing? This episode shatters the glossy image of motivation culture and reveals a mirror held up to all of us. A question lingers: are we truly confronting our pain, or just wearing it like armor? The cult of Goggins is more than fandom. It's a reflection of a society addicted to the idea of suffering but terrified of its reality. Episode 9, What Can't Hurt You Can Still Haunt You. You might think that running 100 miles, facing brutal Navy SEAL training, or conquering unimaginable pain means you're invincible. That the past can be left behind like a worn-out pair of shoes. But David Goggins' story reveals a darker truth: some wounds don't heal, they just hide. Behind the legend is a man still haunted by ghosts, PTSD, shame, loneliness. The battles he fought on the outside pale in comparison to the silent wars raging in his mind. He can push through physical barriers, but the scars of childhood abuse, the weight of trauma, and the echo of pain still follow him, like shadows in the night. The twist: no amount of toughness can fully erase what haunts us. You can't outrun your past, it runs with you. This episode strips away the myth of unbreakable strength to expose the raw, painful humanity beneath. It's a reminder that survival isn't victory, and that some battles never end. Episode 10, The Final Confrontation. Why do you love Can't Hurt Me? Is it the iron-willed Navy SEAL, the ultra-endurance feats, the relentless hustle, or something deeper, something no one admits aloud? Here's the final twist: the reason the world loves David Goggins isn't really about him at all. It's about you. Because deep down, you want to believe your pain has a purpose. That the struggles, the scars, the moments you felt broken, none of it was wasted. That there's meaning in suffering, and a path through the darkness to something greater. Goggins' story isn't just a survival tale. It's a mirror held up to your own wounds, your own battles. It's a challenge whispered in the quiet moments: you are capable of far more than you believe. But with that challenge comes a price: the raw, unflinching truth that growth demands confrontation, not comfort. The legend ends here, but your journey begins. Because maybe the real reason Can't Hurt Me resonates, is because we all carry a little Goggins inside us, aching to be unleashed.